Hello everyone, welcome to my new channel. In this channel, you will get all the latest and exclusive videos related to 90 Day Fiancé. You love drama, real love stories, shocking twists, and emotional moments, then you are in the right place. New videos are uploaded regularly. What if told you the greatest love story on Darcey and Stacey isn't between the sisters and their men, but actually between the men themselves? Look closely at the screen. That grainy Zoommed-in clip you are seeing right now has been circulating on the dark corners of the internet. A piece of what many are calling the lost footage. It shows Florian and Georgi at a club. The lighting is dim, the music is loud, and the sisters are nowhere to be found. Look at the body language. Look at the lean. That isn't just a conversation between two brothers-in-law, that looks like a moment of intimacy that was never meant to be captured on camera. This single clip has sparked a theory that changes absolutely everything. It suggests that the entire premise of the show, the drama, the fights, the weddings, has been a massive calibrated front for a secret relationship that spans continents. We are talking about the ultimate deception. Before we pull back the curtain on this massive scandal, if you want to be part of the squad that uncovers the truth behind the reality TV lies, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the Tell All Tapes 90 Day Fiancé right now. We are digging deeper than anyone else, and you do not want to miss the updates we have coming. Now, let's talk about the concept of the beard. For those of you who aren't familiar with the slang, a beard is a woman who is used often unknowingly to conceal a man's true sexual orientation. It is a tale as old as Hollywood itself, but what we are seeing here might be the first time it has been weaponized on reality television for the sake of immigration and financial gain. The accusation is shocking, but the evidence is mounting. The working theory is that Florian and Georgi are actual lovers who conspired to seduce two rich, famous, and admittedly gullible American sisters to secure green cards. Money. Sounds crazy, right? It sounds like fanfiction. But by the end of this video, you will never look at a single scene of this show the same way again. We have the receipts, the body language analysis from behavioral experts, and the insider leaks that production tried to bury. Let's go back to the beginning, the origin story. To understand the present, we have to look at the past. We have Florian from Albania and Georgi from Bulgaria. Geographically, they are neighbors in the Balkans. Culturally, they share a very specific stoic Eastern European archetype. The show wants us to believe that they met through the sisters, that their friendship is purely incidental, result of dating twin sisters. But deep dives into their backgrounds suggest a different narrative. There are reports and timeline discrepancies that suggest chapter Balkan connections and pre-show history. These two might have crossed paths in the European modeling circuit long before Darcey or Stacey ever slid into their DMs. Picture this. Two aspiring models struggling to make it big in Eastern Europe hatching a plan. They see two American women, twins who are desperate for love, desperate for youth, and desperate for validation. It is the perfect mark. Two targets, one goal. When you watch the early seasons, look at their eyes. This is where the visual analysis becomes damning. When Florian is listening to Stacey talk about wedding planning or her insecurities, his eyes are glazed over. The glossiness of pure boredom. He looks like a hostage. The same goes for Georgi. When Darcey is in one of her emotional spirals, he looks checked out, exhausted, even resentful. But watch what happens when the two men are placed in a room together. The energy shifts instantly. The posture changes. The eyes light up. Suddenly, the broken English becomes fluid communication. They have a shorthand, a way of looking at each other that screams familiarity. It is not just relief at having another guy around. It is the spark of genuine connection that is entirely absent in their romantic relationships with the women. We need to talk about the spa day. If there is one sequence that blew the lid off this theory, it is the infamous spa scenes. We frame by frame analyze the footage and the results are undeniable. In Western cultures and even in Eastern European cultures, there is a line of physical intimacy between male friends. Pat on the back, a side hug, maybe a handshake. But look at the way they touch each other. We see Florian massaging Georgi or Georgi grooming Florian. There is a tenderness there, a level of comfort with each other's bodies that transcends the typical bro dynamic. It is tactile. It is lingering. When they are in that pool or on those massage tables, the rest of the world disappears. They aren't performing for the cameras anymore. They are existing in their own bubble. And then there is the dialogue. We isolated the audio tracks from these scenes to filter out the background music, and then there is the dialogue. We isolated the audio tracks from these scenes to filter out the background music and the narration. The things they say to each other, and more importantly, the tone in which they say them are revealing. You hear phrases like, "You look good, bro," and "my baby." Now you could argue this is just slang, just friend hyping each other up. But compare the audio frequency. When they speak to the sisters, their voices are often flatter, more monotone, sometimes aggressive or defensive. When they speak to each other during these spa moments, the pitch drops. It becomes softer. It becomes genuine. It's the voice you use with someone you love, someone you are safe with. The term bro is thrown around so much it starts to lose meaning, almost as if it is a code word, a safe word they use to mask the affection they are actually expressing. Every time they say bro, replace it with babe in your head and suddenly the scene makes perfect sense. This brings us to the hotel room conundrum. One of the most recurring themes on the show is the chaos of the Silva twins. They fight, they cry, they have meltdowns, and what do the men do? They retreat. They get a hotel room, they leave the house. The narrative the show pushes is that they are escaping the drama. They are the battered men seeking refuge from the storm of Darcey and Stacey. But let's reconstruct what happens behind those closed doors. We have analyzed the timelines of these fights. Often the reasons for the men leaving seem flimsy, almost manufactured. It raises the question, are they provoking arguments just to get an excuse to leave, to get a night away in a hotel just the two of them on the production company's dime? There is a psychological angle here called trauma bonding. Usually, this refers to a victim bonding with an abuser. But in this context, we are looking at two people bonding over a shared chaotic experience. They are the only two people on Earth who understand what it is like to be with the Silva twins. That shared trauma creates an incredibly deep bond. But the theory suggests this bonding turned into or perhaps always was a romance. When they are in that hotel room away from the cameras, away from the screeching and the crying, that is their real life. That is the relationship they are actually invested in. They aren't staying in America for the women. They are staying for the moments they can steal with each other. Think about the sheer amount of time they spend together versus the time they spend with their partners. We see the edited version of the show, which focuses on the couples. But social media stories and background shots often show Florian and Georgi glued to each other's sides. At parties, they are in the corner. At dinners, they are focused on each other. There is a magnetic pull between them. Even their body orientation signals this. In group settings, watch their feet. Human behavior experts say you point your feet toward the person you are most interested in. In almost every group scene, Florian's feet are pointed at scene. Florian's feet are pointed at Georgi and George are pointed at Florian. They are physically turning away from their fiancés and wives to orient themselves toward each other. This leads us to the sugar mama theory versus the secret lovers theory. The easy answer, the one the internet has accepted for years, is that they are just gigolos using the women for money. But that theory has holes. If they were just in it for the money, why do they tolerate so much abuse? Why do they stick around when the credit cards get cut off or when the prenups get signed? A grifter moves on to an easier mark, but a lover who needs this. Part 1, 10,000 chars approximate. Script, English, warning. This video discusses online rumors and fan theories. Nothing here is confirmed fact. We are analyzing what's being claimed on social media and how reality TV editing can create narratives. Do not harass or target anyone mentioned. Now let's get into it. What if I told you the biggest love story in the Darcey and Stacey universe isn't between the twins and their partners, but in the strange, intense bond people think they see between the men themselves? Yeah, this is the theory blowing up in fan circles right now. And it all starts with one clip. A grainy, zoomed-in moment that's been passed around like lost footage. The setting? A club. Dim lights, loud music, bodies moving, and according to the rumor, no Darcey, no Stacey in sight. Just Florian and Georgi standing close, talking in a way that some viewers swear looks more intimate than just brothers. But before anyone jumps to conclusions, here's the truth. A blurry clip is not proof of anything. A camera angle is not evidence. And body language is not a courtroom verdict. Still, rumors don't go viral for no reason. They go viral because they feel convincing, because they hit a nerve, because they explain something people already suspect. That a lot of reality TV relationships are transactional, strategic, or staged. So today, we're breaking down the theory carefully. What's being claimed, why it spreads, and what parts are just classic reality TV editing tricks. And if you're the type who loves digging into the details, exposing producer manipulation, and separating fact from fiction, smash the like button, subscribe to Tell All Tapes. 90 Day Fiancé, and let's dig deeper than the surface-level drama. Now, the internet has given this theory a name, and it's controversial: the beard narrative. In slang terms, a beard is someone used, knowingly or unknowingly, to hide someone's true romantic preferences. That's a heavy accusation, and we need to be clear. Sexuality is personal, and speculating about anyone's orientation is not fair or factual. So we're not here to label anyone. We're here to talk about what the fan theory claims, that the show's relationships could be a front for something else. Whether that something is romance, friendship, business, immigration strategy, or simple survival in the reality TV machine. The biggest version of the rumor says Florian and Georgi are secret lovers who played a long con, charmed two famous American twins for visas, money, and screen time. Wild, right? It sounds like fanfiction. But then people say, look closer at the timeline. Look at the way they act. Look at the hotel nights. Look at the spa scenes. And that's where this gets interesting. Not because it's true, but because it reveals how audiences decode reality TV. Chapter 1. The Balkan Connection. Florian is from Albania. Georgi is from Bulgaria. Different countries, yes, but close enough that fans love to build a Balkan Brothers storyline. The rumor claims they could have crossed paths before the Silva twins, through modeling circles, nightlife, promoters, casting networks, or mutual friends. Again, there is no verified proof of a pre-show connection. But the idea thrives because it's plausible in a small-world entertainment ecosystem. Reality TV isn't random. Casting isn't random. People in those circles run into each other. If you've ever worked in nightlife or modeling, you know exactly what I mean. Fans then take that plausibility and build a narrative. Two ambitious men, two American targets, one plan. And the twins, desperate for love, youth, validation, become the perfect story engine. But here's the smarter question. If there was a plan, would it even need to be romantic? Or would it simply be strategic teamwork? Two men aligning their interests to survive an intense, messy, camera-heavy relationship environment. Chapter 2. The Hostage Eyes Argument. Fans go back to early seasons and freeze-frame the men's expressions during emotional scenes. They say Florian looks bored, checked out, trapped. They say Georgi looks exhausted, defensive, resentful. Then they point to scenes where Florian and Georgi are together and claim the energy changes. Posture shifts, faces soften, jokes land, communication looks easier. But here's what people forget. Editing shapes everything. Producers cut hours of footage into minutes. They can make anyone look bored by choosing the wrong reaction shot. They can make anyone look in love by selecting the warmest smiles. So yes, it's possible the men feel more relaxed together than with the twins. That doesn't automatically mean romance. It could mean peace. It could mean camaraderie. It could mean they share the same language style, the same cultural rhythm, the same guy talk. But the rumor machine doesn't stop there, because the strongest fuel is physical proximity. Chapter 3. The Spa Scene Obsession. If there's one sequence fans keep replaying, it's the spa day footage. People say the touches are too comfortable. They claim there's tenderness beyond a typical male friendship dynamic. They point to grooming gestures, massages, pool moments, and they say they aren't performing anymore. They're in a bubble. But let's be honest, spa scenes are designed to look sensual. That's the point. It's literally a set built for close contact, minimal clothing, soft lighting, and lingering shots. Producers know exactly what they're doing. Put two men in that environment and the internet will immediately project a story. So when viewers say, the world disappears, remember, the camera is the world. The scene exists to create that feeling. Then comes the audio claim. Fans swear the tone changes. They say the men's voices become softer with each other than with the twins. They highlight words like bro, my baby, you look good. Here's the reality. Reality TV audio is often sweetened, re-leveled, or pulled from different moments. Phrases can be clipped. Tone can be misread. And culturally, some people use affectionate slang with friends that sounds romantic to outsiders. So again, interesting but not proof. Chapter 4. The Hotel Room Pattern. This is where the theory tries to sound like detective work. Fans track episodes. Big twin fight happens. Men escape to a hotel. The reason feels flimsy, and suddenly Florian and Georgi are alone. Together overnight. The show frames it as surviving the twins' chaos. The rumor frames it as creating an excuse to be alone. So what's more likely? 1. The men genuinely need breaks from constant conflict, and they bond over shared stress. 2. Production encourages separation because it creates storylines, confessional moments, and dramatic resets. 3. Yes, they might enjoy each other's company more than the chaos, because anyone would. But the internet takes it further and says those closed doors reveal the real relationship. And that's where we need to be careful. We cannot claim what happens off camera. Nobody knows. But we can analyze why the pattern is compelling. It repeats. Repetition creates meaning. Even if it's just production design. Chapter 5. The Foot Direction Proof. Fans cite a popular body language tip. People point their feet toward who they're interested in. They claim in group scenes, Florian's feet point to Georgi, Georgi's feet point to Florian, while their bodies turn away from the twins. But here's the catch. Blocking for camera often dictates where people stand and face. Producers place people for shots. They'll cluster supporting characters together to capture reactions. Also, in a loud group environment, people orient toward whoever they can hear best. Feet direction isn't a lie detector. It's a fun clue, not a conclusion. Now we get to the real core, the money versus romance split. The internet has long believed these men might be with the twins for financial stability and immigration opportunity. But fans say, if it was only money, why tolerate the emotional storms? Why not move on? Here's a harsher truth. Reality TV itself is currency. Screen time is currency. Story relevance is currency. Staying in the chaos keeps you on the show. Staying on the show keeps you visible. Visibility brings opportunities. Brand deals, promotions, appearances, social growth. So even if there's no scam and no secret romance, there's still a powerful incentive to remain attached to the main characters. The twins, because the twins are the franchise. That's not a conspiracy. That's how reality TV works. So the most plausible secret might not be romance at all. It might be strategy. It might be two men protecting their spot on the cast list by staying aligned, presenting a united front, and navigating the twins' world as a team. But here's the twist. Fans insist there are receipts and insider leaks production tried to bury. And this is where our investigation continues. Because in this video discusses online rumors and fan theories. Nothing stated here is confirmed fact. We are analyzing claims, timelines, and reality TV editing patterns. Do not harass or target anyone mentioned. Now let's move forward, because part 2 is where this theory either completely falls apart or starts to feel uncomfortably consistent. Chapter 6 begins with what fans call the lost footage. Every major reality TV conspiracy has one thing in common. A grainy clip that allegedly was never meant to be seen. In this case, it's a dimly lit club video showing Florian and Georgi together with loud music, bodies moving, and no Darcey or Stacey visible in the frame. Supporters of the theory say the closeness, the lean-in, and the body positioning feel too intimate for just friends. But here's the reality. Low-quality footage removes context. In a loud club, people stand close to hear each other. A zoomed-in frame exaggerates proximity. And the absence of the twins proves only one thing. They were not in that specific shot. Still, the clip spreads because it fills an emotional gap viewers already feel. Something about the relationship seems off, and this footage becomes visual confirmation of a suspicion, even without proof. Chapter 7 focuses on timeline discrepancies and pre-show connections. Fans claim Florian and Georgi could have crossed paths long before the twins entered their lives. Albania and Bulgaria are neighboring regions, modeling and nightlife circuits overlap, promoters and casting agents reuse the same talent pools, and aspiring models often circulate in the same cities. There is no documented evidence proving they met before the show, but the theory survives because it sounds plausible. Plausibility, however, is not proof. Many people share similar career paths without ever meeting. What matters more is why audiences want this version to be true. It offers a cleaner origin story than the messy, emotional, met through the twins narrative the show presents. Chapter 8 examines communication, and why viewers think the men connect better with each other than with the sisters. When Florian and Georgi talk together, the energy seems calmer, the jokes land easier, and the tension disappears. With Darcey and Stacey, conversations often feel defensive, fragmented, or emotionally charged. This does not require a secret romance to explain. Shared culture, similar conflict styles, and mutual understanding create comfort. Relief from chaos can easily be mistaken for affection when edited side by side with explosive arguments. Chapter 9 exposes something rarely discussed openly: production incentives. Reality TV thrives on ambiguity. Producers don't need secrets to be real. They only need them to feel possible. Lingering shots, extended spa scenes, hotel exits framed dramatically, and reaction cuts are deliberate tools. Ambiguity drives online debate. Debate drives clips. Clips drive views. Views drive renewals. The show benefits whether the theory is true or false, as long as people keep watching and arguing. Chapter 10 addresses the misuse of trauma bonding. Fans argue Florian and Georgi bonded romantically through shared trauma caused by the Silva twins' emotional volatility. Trauma bonding, however, does not automatically mean romance. Two people surviving the same stressful environment will naturally form a strong alliance. They vent, validate, and protect each other. On camera, that alliance can look intense, especially when contrasted with unstable romantic scenes. Intensity is not intimacy, but television often blurs the difference. Chapter 11 breaks down why the just money explanation feels incomplete to many viewers. If these men were only chasing money, critics ask, why endure constant humiliation, public fights, and emotional exhaustion? The answer lies in understanding reality TV currency. Money is only one reward. Screen time is another. Visibility creates opportunity. Longevity builds personal brands. Walking away early kills momentum. Staying attached to the franchise's core characters keeps relevance alive. Endurance is strategy. Chapter 12 examines social media moments fans call proof. Party photos, background clips, Instagram stories where Florian and Georgi appear together are used as evidence of closeness. But secondary cast members are often grouped together by production. Camera operators follow recognizable pairs, and algorithms amplify content that fits existing narratives. Once a theory forms, confirmation bias takes over. Chapter 13 clarifies what this theory gets right and wrong. It is right that reality TV is heavily constructed. Editing manipulates perception, and strategic.